want y'all to keep this in mind. I'm going to show y'all something. I need y'all to pay close attention. Give me Revelation 13. Here's the great controversy. Revelation 13, or verse 2, I will want to. Verse 16. Watch this.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Y'all see that? Now you want. I've been telling y'all it's talking about sin for a long time, whether political or religious. Now we just read what it is. Go back to Revelation 17 and read verse 4 and 5 together. What's in the hand of America and what's in her forehead? Read.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand.
In her hand? Go ahead.
Full of abominations.
No, a microchip.
Full of abominations.
Full of abominations.
And filthiness.
And filthiness.
Of her fornication.
So that's in her hand. Now let's see what's in her forehead.
And upon her forehead.
Okay, her forehead, her mind.
Was a name written.
What is it?
Mystery. Babylon the Great.
Read.
The mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
I thought it was a microchip.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on here?
Somebody just got bodied.
That's it.
Call the coroner.
Abominations is straight up sin. You're right. Hit the bomb. That's when you hit the bomb now.
Hey, Bishop,
Yes,
it's
sir.
crazy you brought that out because I just heard them bums just put a video up saying that you came out on the horse to distract people from the microchip. Okay, I got the video. Did a video this morning saying that the reason why you came out on the horse was to distract the people from the microchip.
Wow.
So this is crazy.
Wow.
They just got bodied.
Wow. Wow.
This is why we call you Negroes Black Hebrew Israelites. You're dumb as hell and you listen to your leaders who don't know the scriptures. You just got bodied.
Exactly. Let's go on back to Revelation. We're almost done. Revelation 13. And
Revelation
verse
13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
It's the same mark Babylon got, the mother of harlots, which is abomination, sin. That's what it's talking about. But how could they force us to take part in this sin willingly? How? Watch the next verse.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark,
Save he that had sin.
or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Now, what would they do to force us? Watch this. They said that no man might, y'all see that? Buy or sell. That's talking about economics, okay? They're going to use the monetary system to try to force us to reject the word of God. Watch this. Give me the clip I sent y'all on Nigeria. Watch this. Now, I found this video. It's a sodomite talking. I apologize. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know if he's a sodomite, but he's effeminate. Can y'all type it up for me? It said Nigeria.
Did you know that Nigeria is basically cashless now and that they have a central bank digital currency?
After a 3-week delay, Nigeria's digital currency is now legal tender.
Only 0.5% of Nigerians signed up. Yes, big surprise. Most people don't want a central bank digital currency. They limited the amount of cash that people could withdraw from the banks and ATMs to $44 per week. The average Nigerian needs $40 per day to survive.
Scenes of destruction are evident at different banks.
It's still a tug of war to get cash.
They banned cash. The government came out in October of 2022 and said that they're no longer accepting the old banknotes. So they said, we're going to give you new banknotes. But then the banks stopped issuing the new ones and people couldn't get the new ones.
The banks are making the new Naira note very difficult for Nigerians to access.
So what happened? A 60% increase in people who were using CBDCs because guess what? Children were starting to starve. They starved their own people into adopting central bank digital currency. The world leaders are taking notes on this, and we the people need to take notes on this. Only the American people can stop this. And if you don't think that a central bank digital currency and a cashless society, just like Nigeria, isn't coming here, then you need to be a little bit more sophisticated in your thinking.
So, cut that so that was flagging. So, I called, we got a school in Nigeria. I called, And the brother said, it is true, especially in Lagos. I said, there's nothing we can do. They don't use cash there. We can't even help them. Okay? It's all digital now. So give me the next one with India.
To speed. Folks,
put it on the screen.
We have an exercise in how astronomical news can be easily hidden from you in the age of information, yet it's easily verifiable. Did you hear that India wiped out 87% of their cash circulation?
Yeah. We have decided that the 500 rupee and 1000 rupee currency notes presently in use will no longer be legal tender from midnight to night.
You know, my country was the first where they made cash illegal. 2016, digitalization was forced in the country. 8 o'clock in the evening announced midnight, cash was illegal, the big notes. And 70% of the economy crashed. This digitalization is now going all over the world, and there's a war on cash.
It's all part of a global trend against paper money. But India's move has been the most radical of all.
The 500 and 1,000 rupee, which were the most commonly used denominations, were wiped out in an instant. In a country where 98% of the transactions were done in cash, 86% of the currency was wiped out instantly. This is exactly as if President Biden was to come on national television at 9 p.m. and announce that the $10 and $20 bills were effectively canceled. By the way, India's central bank digital currency, the e-rupee, was just launched this year. Well, it took a little time to get 1.2 billion people used to using cash all digitalized.
If ever there was a time for humanity to wake up, now is.
Now give me the next one, USA. USA. Because brothers say, it can't happen here. God bless America. This is Babylon the Great. Mystery. Give me that one. Yes.
You need to say goodbye to Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, and Cash App because FedNow is coming and you don't have a choice. FedNow is a payment service by the government coming out in July that your bank will have to sign up for, which is the first step to make the dollar digital. Now, how does this work? Well, if you buy something on Amazon, your money won't go directly to Amazon anymore. It will first go to the Fed's account and then go to Amazon. This means the government will know everything you use your money for, and if they want to, they can reject any purchase you make, take money out whenever, and decide what you can and can't spend your money on. Yes, it will be faster for payments to settle, easier to get stimulus, and lowers costs that you have to pay to your banks, but your privacy is gone. So is it truly worth it? And guess what? You don't even have a choice to participate or not. Our banks are the ones who will decide for us, so follow me to stay tuned on the final details before it actually comes.
So Africa was a test goal. To Africa, India, and they want to bring that here. So back in Revelation 13 and 17, because the question, how could they try to force the saints to sin? Through finances. Those that are weak and give up. Read verse 17 again.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
You had to be involved in this sin. If they see brothers teaching on the street, find them. Go into their bank account, take money out. Boop, boop, boop. That's what they do. Now you have no food. They try to bend us to make us do what they want. That's what the Bible's prophesying about. Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark.
Except he, go ahead.
That had the mark.
That had the mark, which is sin, whether politically or religiously.
Or the name of the beast.
He's still saying the same thing. Sin in America, go ahead.
Or the number of his name.
Read.
Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast.
Count the number of America, this white man here. Go ahead.
For it is the number of a man.
It's telling you the number of the white man. That's what it means, the number of a man. Go ahead.
And his number is 666.
So that number represents him, number of destruction. Everybody understand that? All right. From there, Revelation 17, 18. We're almost done.
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakabadash. I like to give double honor unto the apostles in the earth as a great millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Slug you. And today I just want to go into this video, about Bishop Nathaniel yet again. Bishop Nathaniel yet again, breaking down, the book of Revelation chapter 30. Breaking down Revelation 13 and 16 wrong yet again. So I'm just going to bring out a couple scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. And Salakia as well. because I'm still, coming down from a cold. So, as you can see, Bishop Nathaniel, clearly broke that down wrong again. So, I'm going to start in the book of 2 Chronicles. Chapter 36, verse 16. And it says, "But they mocked the messengers of Yahweh, and despised his words, and misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy." Slakia, and as you can clearly see, they were mocking, the apostles, of Great Millstone, calling them bums, and, so forth. And pretty much, these are the men of the Lord, because they're teaching the 100% truth. They're not hiding their talents, they're not withholding truth or misleading the congregation, saying that, particular breakdowns mean one thing when in fact it's something else. So, Salakia, again, and I'm going to go to the book of James, chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 2, and it says, "For if there come unto you an assembly," Salakia, "for if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing," the fancy clothing, "and say unto him, Sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, Stand thou there, or sit under my footstool." Slakia, "or sit here under my footstool. Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not Yahweh chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him? But ye have despised the poor. Do not the rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats?" And yes, clearly the rich of this society, starting with the elites, that pretty much run the world, they're oppressing us, And as it clearly stated, in verse 5, the Lord, he chose the poor out of this world. So, of course, even if brothers, that are in this truth, they may be doing well, but for the majority, we're poor. And that doesn't necessarily mean, we're homeless, or, Slakia, the men of the Lord are poor, not that they're homeless, or, eating out of garbage cans, but, we only make enough money, just to get by. But ultimately, that's pretty much Bishop Nathaniel, because this man is doing well in this society. And he's making fun of, the apostles and the artists of Great Millstone, calling them bums because of, the garments, and it said that, it prophesy in sackcloth. Okay, Salakia, I can't find it right now, but, I'll come back to it later. But pretty much, Bishop Nathaniel, he's wrong. He's wrong. He's breaking down that breakdown wrong. Revelation 13, chapter 13, and chapter 17, they do not correlate. They don't relate. It's not talking about the same thing, So first, I'm just going to go to Revelation 17, and he read verse 4 and 5. And it says, "And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold, and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup." Having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Now again, these two verses have nothing to do with Revelation chapter 13. And it was talking about America, because this is what John the Revelator saw. He saw an actual woman sitting on a beast, with a golden cup in her hand. But it's also twofold. It's talking about America because, the other nations, came over here because they thought the streets of America were paved in gold. They thought this, pretty much was, the best place on the world. It's like they pretty much thought this, was like the best place to be. The nations were deceived. But the name written on her head, Mystery Babylon the Great, again, that's America, because for a while, it was a mystery who Babylon the Great was, because it wasn't ancient Babylon. That's going into today, Then, he's talking about the cup in her hand that has nothing to do with Revelation chapter 13. The cup of abominations, the philosophies, and, that America pushes, pretty much America tries to push its philosophies on the other nations, It's the reason why, in Uganda, you have the president over there pretty much outlawing, the alternative lifestyle. He wants those, he's saying it's a crime to do that, And then as well as, you have India pretty much fighting for, people in India to fight for the rights to, have the alternative lifestyle marriage. They pretty much want the same rights as they do in America. So, those are those abominations, Bishop Nathaniel's wrong. So, again, I'm going to go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and I'm going to start at verse 15. Now, he says, they're going to force us. No, they're not going to force us to get anything. It's going to be a choice for everyone, to accept this device or be put to death, So it's lucky, bear with me. That's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 10. And it says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." So yes, everyone is going to be faced with a choice to receive the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, and not sin or be put to death, And then this is the book of Revelation, chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 15. And it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." And yes, that right there, verse 15 is telling you that those that don't receive, that device, they're going to be killed, Ultimately, they're going to be beheaded, and I'm going to bring that out as well, Verse 16, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." It's Slagia. Here's wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, yes, this is not talking about sin, because chapter 3 and verse 23, it clearly states, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahweh. So, if the mark of the beast is sin, then we're all doomed. No one is going to be saved, But clearly it states that a remnant is going to be saved. The elect of the nation of Israel is going to be saved, during this time that we're living in. So the mark of the beast is not sin. This right here is clearly states that we all have sinned, So it's not sin. So, just to prove it again, this is what the mark of the beast is. And I can't fight this feeling anymore. So lucky for the ads. But again, this is showing you exactly what it is.
I'll make a fist and squeeze the tag to the top of my skin. When I approach the device, it opens the Facebook page I set it to.
Colin Cravino has a microchip implanted in both of his hands.
Some people just look really grossed out. I put my hand up and I let them poke at it and they freak out.
Developed in the 1950s and 60s, RFID chips, short for radio frequency identification, have been used by retailers to track packages and prevent theft. Farmers use the chips to keep tabs on their livestock. Pet owners use them to identify their cats and dogs. And lately, members of the so-called body hacker movement have been implanting RFID chips under their skin, programming them to perform various tasks. Colin Cravino, a smartphone repairman in Brooklyn, New York, uses his chips to open his front door. He found them on a website called Dangerous Things that sells implant kits and offers user tips.
I came across it when I was doing research on the Samsung deadbolt that I bought. And then the first thing that I noticed was that I could get an RFID tag that would work with the deadbolt.
Cravino plans to modify one of his motorcycles next.
And I haven't decided on where I want to put the authenticator, the antenna, thinking probably down by the seat somewhere because this comes off. So I would just tap my hand on it. Then the light would come on as if I put the key in, and then I would just hit the ignition and start the vehicle.
RFID retailers estimate that between 30 and 50,000 people worldwide have chip implants in their bodies. German tech consultant Andreas Sjöström used his chip as a boarding pass on a recent flight from Stockholm to Paris, and to get into an airport VIP lounge. Skeptics say the implants raise privacy issues and worry that strangers could tap into the information on a chip without the owner's knowledge. Others say potential uses for the technology, such as keeping track of a patient with dementia, could pose ethical concerns. But Cravino and others see a future where technology and the human form will merge.
I think when it becomes more prevalent and there's a lot more things and options that you can do with this, that people will, opt in for that kind of augmented human sort of attitude. That's why I have an Android device and not an iPhone, is because I want to be able to customize everything I have, so why should I not be able to customize myself?
And again, that's what the mark of the beast is. He's showing you he had it implanted in both of his hands. Now, there's a man here in Michigan, that pretty much has one of those implanted in his hand so he can start his Tesla, So it's showing you that's what is going to be used, That's what's going to be injected into people's hands and foreheads. Elon Musk with Neuralink, Then Bishop Nathaniel also brought out videos from Nigeria and India and America, primarily Nigeria and India, that they're cashless societies, they pretty much have digital currencies. Excuse me. And then, in July in America, they're supposed to release, FedNow, which is America's version of, that central bank digital currency. Because again, paper money is going to be phased out. And as he said, he can't help, the the people out there in Nigeria because they don't accept cash. Now, I did a video on this last week. This is pretty much going to be a foreshadowing of what's coming to America.
Miren, bebé. Ay, dolor, me volviste a dar. Qué lujo, qué lujo. Qué lujo.
Now, as you can see, the man is walking down the street. There's thousands of dollars of, Venezuelan, money in the street. That's going to be the American dollar soon. It's going to be completely worthless. You aren't going to be able to do anything with it. Because, the American dollar is already worthless because it's not backed by anything. It's not like it was in the early 1920s when it was backed by gold. But now the American dollar is backed by nothing. It's the reason why we're experiencing inflation and soon hyperinflation,
Miren, bebé. Ay, dolor, me volviste a dar. Qué lujo, qué lujo. Qué lujo.
As you can see, the man, he is laughing, but at the same time, he is upset. Because again, their money is worthless, and that's what's coming to America, Just going back to the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1, it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and that the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped together, it's like you have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts, as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just. He does not resist you." And yes, that is what's coming to America. And again, this is the same thing that's going to take place with the American dollar. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7 and verse 19. And it says, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Now, yes, ultimately, those that are well off in this society, even the elites, money isn't going to be able to save you from the wrath of the Lord to come, because during the time of Jacob's trouble, gold and silver isn't going to be able to save you, only the Lord is. Then the only ones that are going to be saved from that trouble to come is the elect of the nation of Israel, So again, going back to the book of the word trench, which is the word Crocs. Slugya.
Strong's G 5482, Charax. Charax.
In the outline of biblical usage, it says a pale or stake a palisade. And as you've seen in the video, the second video that I featured, in that person's hand was a syringe, and the device itself, that syringe, is exactly what this is talking about. It's a pale stake, something that's going to pierce your hand, I almost forgot to bring that out. I'm going to go back. And then again, going back to the book of Revelation, chapter 16. It's lucky Revelation 13 and 16. And this is the word mark.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
And this is what's going to be implanted in a people's hand. The outline of biblical usage, it says a stamp, an imprinted mark. It's like you. Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a hedge of the followers of the Antichrist. Now we know that part is off, because there is many Antichrists. It isn't just one man. But ultimately, that's what it is. A stamp that's going to go in people's right hands or their foreheads, And then again, he says that the mark of the beast is sin, which again is off. We'll explain this again. Bishop Nathaniel. There's the book of Isaiah, chapter 36 and 6, and it says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. And as you see, in the video, it shows someone that pretty much got their hand was pierced by that syringe, and that device was in their hands. Again, that man had two of these devices in both of his hands. It clearly states right there that it's something that is going to go into your hand. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 4, and it says, And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped. Slakia. Revelation 20 and 4, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, and neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. And it clearly states, there are going to be some members of the elect that are going to be beheaded for the witness, and testimony of our Lord Yahushai, because they resisted that mark. That clearly says that they didn't get it, in their foreheads, that they didn't get it in their hands, that they did not get chipped, So, yet again, Bishop Nathaniel is wrong, The mark of the beast is not sin. It is the RFID CHIP. And when that time comes, don't take it. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakodash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. To the next time I say Shalom.